Dear Diamonds and fellow Diamonds in the Rough, there's a lot of confusion and interpretation about the early access that the creators have for Acheron and the future characters that are to come. Does this mean that these creators can no longer give unbiased, honest takes about these characters? We're about to see from Braxophone what is and what isn't, and clear up every and any misconception we may have about this whole situation.
Based on my experience with hoyoverse over the past few years, I'm going to tell you how they operate. My relationship with hoyoverse could be negatively affected because of what I'm about to tell you. But for the sake of transparency and for the sake of clearing up everything, all of the bullshit that has been being spewed my way as a result of me posting an early access video, I'm going to do it.
That man is truly different.
This image started circulating the internet. New content creator testing server. Unreleased content in the CC testing server is allowed to be shown and explained to the public. The textual and visual content being sent must be first assessed and authorized by MiHoYo. Doing so without being assessed by MiHoYo may lead to the CC partnership being canceled. For example, you
pretty much
say C0 plus free-to-play weapon character X is outright terrible. You're never going to be able to trust a creator again, right? You can never trust their opinion because they're all going to be filtered through hoyoverse, and hoyoverse only wants to make sales, so they're going to tell everyone to lie, and you can't say a character is bad. So I'm going to make something very, very clear. This video right here, I'm circling with my mouse. This is a completely honest review of Dia. C0 Dia first impressions. I did this video, it wasn't early access because that server didn't exist, but this was on the Genshin Impact media server. Before this video went live, I had to send this video to hoyoverse to get it approved so that way I could post it. In fact, not a lot of people know this, but if you post something straight from the media server, you have to get it approved by hoyoverse.
Which makes sense.
The narrative is that hoyoverse only has to approve of these videos. What Hoyo wants to see is that you're not slandering the company, which is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Slandering a character. Not even slandering a character, just talking negatively about a character. Right? If you slander a character, if I just straight up lie to you about a character, if I'm like, yeah, Farina is actually a dog shit Genshin Impact unit, and you shouldn't pull for her because she's also racist in game. Like if I said that, yeah, that'd be slandering a character, and it would just be incorrect. And hoyoverse might
true, that makes sense.
If you don't do that before you upload.
Yeah.
But hoyoverse has never given me any shit for expressing my honest opinion on characters. And
so basically, hoyoverse doesn't want you to be a dumb fuck. They're just making sure there is no treason. That's why they look after your work. Let's say, for example, I'm about to put out an ad. Well, I'd like to see the ad that I'm about to put out that's going to represent me, right? I think that's a fair thing to do, and hoyoverse is well within their right to do so, which in my opinion is actually smart. They'd be stupid if they're not going to do that, because if one day a creator fumbles the bag, hoyoverse will look bad and look incompetent. They didn't look after the creator that they themselves chose to actually represent their product, which is a fair thing to do. So far, this makes a lot of sense.
Me saying, wow, I really hate hoyoverse, or wow, hoyoverse really ruined this character. They don't want to see that. That places blame. That gets witch hunts. A lot of people are also mentioning that I'm on some kind of Hoyo contract.
Which you are.
If you know anything about how business in the real world works, whenever you're given access to something early that is not public yet you usually sign an NDA. These NDAs are not the same things as sponsorships. The NDAs are specifically to make sure that you do not break any of the rules, sharing early access server, sharing the early access.
Oh, so what you can do is actually give spoilers. Okay, you can say what you think and be honest about the things you're about to cover, but you just can't talk about what it is and what isn't, like as in the details of spoilers, basically. Okay, so this is basically a Tom Holland from the MCU situation where they don't want you to be Tom Holland. Okay, just don't be Tom Holland and you're good. Okay.
This is different from a sponsored deal, where in a sponsor, you might be asked to specifically talk about the positives of a character.
Yes.
Or a sponsor, you might be specifically asked to talk about the
I always thought they were the same, to be honest.
To look forward to.
Maybe I'm dumb.
They'll even sponsor you for your honest opinion, which has been done before. But usually creators are not at liberty to say, hey, this is what the sponsor told me I'm allowed to say. Because
that's bad.
Would they pay you for that?
Yes, 100%.
The company paid me $5,000 to tell them, hey, the company paid me to say all of this, and I don't actually believe it at all. What hoyoverse is doing with this early access server is completely different from that, because they are basically saying, here's a playground, go play, and if you want to post anything on it, let me just make sure that there's nothing like slandering the company. Let me make sure that there's nothing that's going to make hoyoverse themselves look bad, as opposed to the character looking bad. Because Hoyoverse, believe it or not, can separate themselves from the characters as they've done before in the past with characters like Dia. What I did is give my honest opinion that if you want to main Acheron, her light cone needs to be your priority over her Eidolons. And what I said is if this is a character that you really care about and you really want to play, I believe pulling her light cone is actually the right decision. Not necessarily that everyone has to pull the other light cone or she's fucking doomed. But I've seen two receptions to this. One, I've seen the reception that I'm just shilling for Hoyoverse to try to sell the light cone, which is not true. Because fuck, I just think you should not pull for Acheron. If you don't want the light cone, do not pull for the fucking character. But if I say that, you know who's gonna come?
No, you can't. You can't say that.
People that want to pull for Acheron.
Yeah, don't, bro. It's like no matter what you do, you can't really win there.
And people are going to shit on me for it either way. I do not care if you like my opinion on Acheron. I do not care if you like my opinion on the light cone. What I care about is this idea that I can't have free thought because I'm uploading from a server that said, hey, we just need to make sure that you didn't put anything like horrendous or awful.
Okay, so that's a nice debunk. Now that we know.
Now, to be fair to the creators that were not invited for this special opportunity, I understand why you're mad about it. I want success for my friends and I want success for myself as well. Me posting this video is doing what everyone else would have done though.
The ultimate issue with this is you'll notice the view count here and it's only been 17 hours ago. It goes to show the power of you being first. I would personally suggest that this is what would upset the creators more, is that Brax basically took so much numbers out of them because they don't have the same access as Brax does, which kind of sucks. And that is one of the ultimate issues I feel like with this new early access fight the leakers type of strategy that hoyoverse is applying, is whoever has access to this stuff basically has an insane advantage on the other creators. Now, I feel like for smaller creators like myself, I will have to point out what Xli said about this, where you just do it for the passion. You don't do it for the numbers. And I would suggest that maybe that is the best approach now, but in a sort of way, one can suggest that is copium. Why should they have all this advantage just because leakers exist? Just keep the formula as was. They're still succeeding. They're still winning. They're still getting their paycheck. They're still getting their sponsors, their numbers. It's like, why are you applying this? Like, just keep it as is, and at least it gives me, the smaller creator, a shot to grow and become something, right? But now it's even more difficult. As if it wasn't easy, now it's even worse.
It's from Hoyoverse is a test run to see if creators can be a better connect with the community to showcase characters. And my guess is also to stomp out leaks.
I don't really understand the fight leaks and stomp leaks through this. It's only a week prior, okay? Leaks start to come out months before the character is released. So it's like as soon as one character is released, the beta starts, leaks start. And then you can have the whole kit, the whole numbers that are always subject to change. And I would, yes, someone would say, well, the creators get the final product. But even Brax specified in his Acheron video that these are still subject to change. A week doesn't really fight leakers. You have to give access to these creators months. As soon as you start working on the character, they walk you through the process of how the character changed. However, that is a double-edged sword, because then the community can start complaining about, oh, I like the character when it was like this. I like the character when it was like that. So what I'm trying to say is Hoyoverse cannot win in this situation. No matter what they do, as long as leakers exist, they just can't win. So maybe keeping the formula as is might be the best plan. They seem to really want to put their foot down against leakers. Let's see how the fight goes. I guess we'll be there to enjoy the fireworks.
Now, here's the other thing that I've seen a lot of people upset about. There's a disclaimer at the beginning of the video that basically just says Hoyoverse can strike down your content if you use footage.
This, I feel like, is the most important part. This is the most important. I would suggest maybe give certain creators the ability to react and use that footage. Just some. They don't have to go through everything, but they can make a react content and give their thoughts about what they're looking at too. That'd be fine. And I would love to be part of those.
Please. I feel like this is more so to just make sure that people that make leak content can't capitalize on the people that they are specifically trying to.
Oh, okay. So it's like to fight leakers. That doesn't make any sense though.
Creators that make guides a week in advance, right? And those creators, you know, if they see other creators uploading video footage of a new character in like,
bro, I can literally type on YouTube right now and I will find guides about Acheron that are like 2 weeks old. I don't understand this. It doesn't combat leakers that much. Let's keep it a buck.
And even if they did pay me, dude, something you guys gotta realize about YouTubers is that like when they're at the place that like I'm at, for example, where I'm pretty happy with my viewership and I'm pretty happy like with the amount of views that I see every video and the amount of support that I get. Dude, if a company tells me I have to do something I don't want to do, I just won't work with the company. And I think a lot of people are like under this misconception that like the things that
everybody's a sellout
are all basically like paid out, and I'm like this paid show for hoyoverse.
Yeah,
dude, if I didn't actually
because it's easy to put everybody in one bubble in one basket. It's so easy. Oh, YouTuber equals sellout equals they just want money. They just do what hoyoverse want them to do because a certain rat said so and because a certain slime did that, right?
Wait a minute. I should be the only motherfucker getting praise in the Genshin community.
So now all others are the same, right? No, it doesn't work like that. And I really like what Braxophone just said. There is a certain point in your life where you gotta reach a certain level and you go, you know what, I'm content like this. I'm good, man. I don't have to keep like this grind and all that. Like, you know, if I don't need more, like I'm good as is. If I have more, yay, but I'm not gonna like sell my principles and my soul for more. Like, okay, if I get it, I get it. If it doesn't, I'm cool anyway. Okay, now we know. We didn't know. We didn't have all the facts. But now that we have all the facts, this now makes sense. Sponsored content, they have to lie. They have to sell you into it, which is not the same as, you know, the creator giving you their honest take and their honest opinion about a certain character. Okay, this makes sense because it didn't make sense to me that you presenting a character and you having early access to character is sponsored. That doesn't make sense because it fits the narrative of censorship and where they dictate what you say, what you do, if you want to keep being affiliated with them being hoyoverse. But now this makes more sense. Okay, you guys, here you go. You guys have early access because you guys are basically the faces of where people go to actually get information about certain units. We're giving you early access because you guys do so much for us, the company, and it's a win-win. You guys keep pushing out and presenting the characters, the product. We're winning. We're getting publicity. You guys are winning. Everybody wins. But sponsored, they have to sprinkle sweet nothings, which doesn't make much sense because the creators are only getting access to information that benefits them through their platform that they've built with their blood, sweat, and tears. However, they're not getting paid by hoyoverse to do that shit. I'm fairly certain they are getting paid through the work they've put, which is YouTube, posting the video, all that. This makes more sense to me personally. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I feel like Brax just keeps getting dubs, man.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
We'll see you on the next one. See ya.